What's good and welcome in. You're watching NBA Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Chase Senior. Hope all of you out there are having a fantastic day. On the docket for today, going to do some projections and look ahead to the 2022-2023 NBA season. ESPN got together a panel of NBA experts, and they combined to do some forecasting as to what they think is going to happen for the upcoming season, from who's going to win the East, who's going to win the West, and who's going to win the NBA championship. Then on the back end of the show, we'll take a look at some NBA MVP odds. So the votes came in as to who would win the Eastern Conference, and this is going to be a loaded and very, very fascinating slate in the East because there are a lot of really good teams who are so closely tied. But as of now, it's the reigning Eastern Conference champions as the Boston Celtics getting 42% of the votes to run it back and win the East for the second consecutive year. Not far behind them is the Milwaukee Bucks getting about 37% of the votes. Keep in mind that Chris Middleton did not play in that second round series against Boston, and if he were to play, I think the Bucks could have won that playoff series against Boston to once again go to the Eastern Conference Finals for the second year in a row. Those are the two top dogs, according to the ESPN experts. There's a big drop-off from the Bucks to the Philadelphia 76ers. As you can see, 10.5% of the votes for Philly, and then Miami Heat coming in there at number 4, slightly edged by Philadelphia just because of the voting system. And then in 5th place, the Cleveland Cavaliers, as well as the Toronto Raptors. In the Western Conference, we're about to show you those squads. Who wasn't included? The Minnesota Timberwolves and the Memphis Grizzlies. Those were some of the other teams who did receive votes in the Western Conference. So we're about to take a look and pander to the West. Don't worry, but first, I want to hear from you in the comment section right now on NBA Now, because your voices, your opinions are certainly appreciated and valued. That's why we have audience interaction here. Who wins the East? Who wins the West? Give me a team on both sides. Do that right now. As for who wins the West, once again, another repeat. Golden State Warriors, this time getting a large percentage of the votes at nearly 53%. Interesting squad here coming in at number 2. It's the Los Angeles Clippers. Kawhi Leonard coming back. Paul George expected to be healthy. And the roster outside of that, it's pretty damn good. Free agent acquisition of John Wall. So the Clippers at 31.5%. Phoenix Suns at number 3. Dallas Mavericks at number 4. And the Denver Nuggets at number 5. I do think there are some teams in the West who could surprise a lot of people. Of note, though, because we talked about those other two teams in the West getting votes, Los Angeles Lakers not even on this list. That roster right now, it ain't cutting it. As for the votes for the teams and the team who wins the NBA championship, Golden State Warriors, once again the favorites to win the Western Conference, followed by the Clippers. And then this is where the Eastern Conference comes into the equation. Boston Celtics, Milwaukee Bucks, the Miami Heat overtake the Philadelphia 76ers at number 5, Suns at 6, Nuggets at 7, Minnesota Timberwolves at number 8. We go back to the Philadelphia 76ers at number 9, and then the Dallas Mavericks round things out as the top 10 teams favored by the ESPN poll of experts for teams that can win the NBA championship. Before we continue to keep it moving here on NBA Now, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We continue to grow rapidly because we give you videos every couple of hours centered in on the NFL, NBA, and college football. Any big news item that's out there, we cover it. Live shows, videos on demand, watch parties. We literally do it all, and we involve you in all of our content. So make sure you hit that red sub button down below or head to youtube.com/chatsportstv. Now let's shift gears to the NBA MVP odds. An all too early look at who is favored to claim NBA MVP. What's interesting, a lot of similar names from last year's list, and the favorite is the same guy as last year. And in the playoffs, we saw why Luka Doncic was the most valuable player in the NBA, or at least why you can make an argument for why he is. Going into 2022-23, he is the favorite to win NBA MVP. We'll expand our thoughts on Luka coming up in just a second. 4-1 odds, though. What does that mean? You put down $1. If Luka wins, you get $4 back. So when he's the favorite, the money value back, it's not all that great. Now, if you took Devin Booker at 25 to 1 odds. As you see him at number 10, you wager $1, he wins, you get $25 back. Joel Embiid, he's finished runner-up to the Joker back-to-back years in the NBA MVP voting. He is second favorite to win NBA MVP, followed by Giannis, the aforementioned Nikola Jokic, Kevin Durant at 12 to 1 odds, Ja Morant, Jayson Tatum, Steph Curry, LeBron James, and Devin Booker rounding out that list. If you want good value here, can KD be rejuvenated? Can he be motivated to win the MVP? 12 to 1 odds, pretty good value. Same can be said for Ja Morant and Jayson Tatum as they look to take those next steps into superstardom. Steph Curry, 17 to 1 odds, not out of the realm of possibility for him to claim the award. And LeBron James, who's going to be 38 years old in December, 18 to 1 odds. If he has a season like he did last year, but the Lakers are actually a better team from a win-loss perspective, then LeBron can win the award. If the Lakers were better last year, LeBron James would have been taken more seriously to win NBA MVP. I'll tell you this about the depth of talent at the NBA level now. The level of talented players and talented teams in the NBA is as deep as it's been in a really long time. For instance, going into this year, I can't wait to see what the Houston Rockets do. How good and how well the Orlando Magic can play. I want to see the Detroit Pistons, the Oklahoma City Thunder, and all of those teams are going to be some of the lowest in terms of the standings in the East and the West this year. But any given night, they have the ability and the potential to take down some of the top teams in the NBA, so can't wait for this upcoming season. Before I get to Luka Doncic here, who is your all-too-early pick to win NBA MVP? I just gave you the list of the top 10 odds. You give me a single name right now in the comment section. Now, could this be the year for Luka Doncic? We've seen him be special. He's off to a start in his respective career, kind of like what LeBron James was able to do to start his career with the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I think for Luka, it's only a matter of time before he adds to his greatness, he adds to his resume, and he wins the MVP award. And without Jalen Brunson this year, I think that Luka has an even better opportunity to carry the squad and prove why if you were to take him away from the Dallas Mavericks, that team would legit be one of the worst in the NBA. And that's kind of how I measure MVP voting. If you take that individual player off that roster, how good could that team be? And for the Mavericks, you take Luka Doncic off Dallas, they are putrid, they are abysmal, they are bad, and that goes to show you just how valuable Luka Doncic is. If you made it this far on the show, I want you to get into the comment section right now and show us that you're a real one by typing real one. As always, appreciate all of you for tuning into the show, and if you are a real one, you can get Real One merchandise right now. Chatsports.com/Real One. Multiple colors available. Black, red, blue, purple, green. Endless options for you depending on if you want a shirt to back up the team that you root for, or if you want to get a couple, then you're a real one. Chatsports.com/Real One. Get those shirts today.